Hello to world, welcome back to another video. So today we are going to discover the evaluation of Jakarta EE from JDK perspective, okay? And why you need to know this because there are two different streams running in the market, and based on that you have to apply for the jobs using the JDs which I have already written there, okay? So let's start it. Everything, let's say back at the time was inside a tool called JDK, okay, Java Development Kit. Everything was built inside it, but later point of time, a new thing was introduced. It was called J2EE. This was Java 2 Public Enterprise Edition. Okay, I will write in short: Enterprise, ENTERPRISE EDITION. Okay, this was created back at that time. Okay, and later on what happened was a new rebranding was done for this, and it was called as Java EE. Okay, Java EE. And after this Java EE, what Oracle did was Oracle gave this Java EE to Eclipse Foundation, and they again renamed it as Jakarta EE. So from here the Jakarta was born. JAKARTA, Jakarta EE. Okay, Oracle has given this to Eclipse Foundation. To whom? Eclipse Foundation. Let me write it here. They have given this to the Eclipse Foundation. ORACL. Oracle, by the time who don't know what is Oracle, Oracle is a very good company for Java developers. They powered the Java till today. Okay, so they have given this to Eclipse, ECLIPSE Foundation, FOUNDATION. Okay, so Eclipse Foundation was provided this, and they have created this as Jakarta EE. And inside Jakarta EE, this was a major one which was a revolution into the market. So what they did is they created something very similar to the Spring, and they created their own products like JSP, very important one, Jakarta Server Pages. Okay, JSTL, and it was called Jakarta Standard Tag Library. Then EJB was also important. That was Jakarta Enterprise Brain. Okay, so these were the little one which were used in our previous like before our 2020 applications in the production level. So codes were written in these libraries. JAX, it was called JAX-RS. This was the majorly one used. It was called Jakarta RESTful Web Services. Everything was in REST. Okay, then there was a Bean validator as well. There was CDI, content delivery injection. Okay, then they also introduced JPA. This was something which was used for connecting to DB, how you are going to connect to your DB. So it was called Jakarta persistence, how you are going to connect into the DB. So this was the whole evaluation from the Eclipse Foundation, which Eclipse team has done over the time. Okay, but at the same time, another thing was also floating into the market, that was Spring Framework. Okay, people were creating Spring Framework. I have already told you how Spring was created in the initial video of this lecture series. Okay, and Jakarta, JAKARTA, Jakarta CDI. Let's discover the content delivery network, because CDI contain most of the these things: JSP, JSTL, EJB, Java, RX, JPA, everything. Okay, so what's the difference between them? Which one to select and which one not to select? Nothing is different, just the naming convention has changed. COMPONENT. We have a annotation as component. They call it as at the rate name. Okay, and they we have an annotation called at the rate AutoWire, AUTOWIRED, and they call it as inject at the rate INJECT. Okay, so why I am telling you this Spring and Jakarta CDI? So wherever you find the opportunity and it has been written as Jakarta, JSP, JSTL, CDI, you need to work over the CDI. So you can specify the difference to the interviewer. Okay, we call it as component, we name it as at the rate named there. So it's hardly matter. And until and unless you know Java, you are perfect for working in both the framework. Framework doesn't matter. You know the core principle of working. Okay, so that's why I want to make a difference video in this. And for our perspective, why we are going to use Spring, because Spring is the initial chapter like we have started, and Spring we are going to continue with, because Spring is the major part of this video series. Okay, so we have to use Spring only. So we are going to use this framework. Which one? Spring framework, majorly Spring framework. So we are going to use this. So I will continue the series in this format, and going forward, I am going to discuss about the Spring annotations, and then I will give you a clear list of all the annotation which we have read till now, so that at that point of time, or before 1 hour of the interview, you can easily revise this, and you should take note of that, and that will help you. Okay, okay. So for all of that and more, stay tuned.